Well, Colleen joins us via Skype from right outside of Detroit. She's in Michigan, Grosse Pointe, which we get mail from.
Yes,
we love our friends in Grosse Pointe. To talk about the book she authored on Marian Consecration for families with young children from our Sunday visitor. Colleen, thanks so much for being with us. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. It's great to be here.
Now, I have to ask you a question that I did. Is that a baby?
This is a baby. This is Benedict. He's 2 months old, and he's sound asleep.
So I talked to you before the show. I had no idea that Benedict was there. I just thought you were really fancy. I'm thinking, wow, that's a great scarf. Well, let's keep Benedict asleep. Can you just tell us, let's start with, what is a Marian Consecration?
So a Marian Consecration is essentially giving your life over to Our Lady so that she can bring you to Jesus. And that's it. It's really simple.
It is very simple, yet it's very profound. And of course, one thing is that we always think of Marian Consecration as a devotion for somebody who's a little bit more mature in the faith, somebody who's had maybe other devotions. So how do we bring that then to young children? And what made you decide to do that?
Well, so I think the beauty of having a Marian devotion is that it really is the simplest, right? We all love our mom. We can all relate to a mom, right? And that's what makes it so perfect for children. I actually wrote the book for my own daughter. When she was almost 3 years old, she started asking a lot of questions about Mary. And my own consecration renewal was coming up. So I wanted to find something so that she could join me. And so I went looking for a book or a resource, and there wasn't anything. There are Marian consecrations for adults. There are Marian consecrations for teenagers and for older children. But there was nothing that really brought it down to her level. And so my husband, being the supportive guy he is, said, well, you can write, just pick one. So I started writing. And as I was writing, I just kind of kept feeling that like tip tap of the Holy Spirit on my shoulder, that this wasn't just for my kids. So when it was finished, I sent it out to some families to test it, and then started working on a book proposal, and ended up with our Sunday visitor.
Some of our friends don't realize why Catholics have such a devotion to Mary. I was talking to someone the other day who's not of the Catholic faith, and they love Mary, but they don't understand it. But she's such a great role model to all of us. Can you delve into that a little bit?
Absolutely. So Mary is just the easiest way to Jesus. You know, she just always carries us to Jesus. St. Louis de Montfort uses the metaphor of a sculptor. And he says that there's two ways of making a sculpture. The sculptor can, hammer and chisel that marble, which is a lot of work and takes a long time. And you can only go bit by bit. Or the sculptor can pour into a mold, which creates the perfect sculpture quickly. And he says that we try to get to Jesus on our own, and really try. We're letting God, the first method, that chipping away of ourselves to bring us to who we're made to be. But if we go to Mary, he pours us into the mold of our Blessed Mother, who was perfect and sinless. And it's easy.
That's for sure. And it's interesting, during these times of pandemic where families are gathered together more and more, they're looking for ways to start a prayer life, and they might find it a little bit awkward, particularly with this age group, this fidgety age group, let's be real. So yes. What would you recommend as kind of a starting point to ease in with this?
Well, so the reason this book works is because of its format. It's 33 days, but each day is short. So there's a full color, full page illustration on each page. There's a short reflection, and then there's some conversation starters. These are questions to just ask your child and get some, to start that faith-based discussion, because that can be hard to do. And then at the back of the book is a whole notes for parents section for parents to read before they start with their kids, for each day, tips and hints and ways to share faith with their child. So it really is designed to be that shallow entry into a prayer life with your child.
Yeah. Tell us about the illustrations, because they're beautiful.
Aren't they stunning?
Yeah.
The illustrations are done by Rebecca Gorsinska. She's an American expat living in Poland with her family. And when I was writing the book, I kept seeing in my head one of her paintings. It's called the Christmas Madonna, and it's Mary holding Jesus. And so when I finished the manuscript, I reached out to her and asked if she was interested in maybe illustrating it. And this was before we had a publisher. And she read it and was game to start. And so we worked together for about a year and a half. She painted all of these 33 original paintings.
Oh, they really are stunning. And Mary, the beautiful Marian Consecration with that gorgeous artwork that would keep those fidgety 3 to 7 year olds, kind of occupied visually. That's great. So tell us how people can follow your work and our great friends at Our Sunday Visitor to get a copy of the book.
Absolutely. So I write over at elevatortoheaven.com. You can get a copy of the book at OSV's website or on Amazon.
Oh, that's great.
Now, I have to tell you, Colleen, I'm actually a little jealous because I'm a dad of 3 kids, but my kids are older, and I miss that age of Benedict.
It's a fun age.
And do I hear
really
the kids? Do I hear the kids in the background?
You definitely do.
That is awesome.
Yeah, there's 3 more of them in the other room.
And look at, they're being good. They're holding back.
They're being really great.
Well, Colleen, thank you so much for joining us. Have a great Thanksgiving and a wonderful Advent season.
Thank you. You too.
Have a great day.
Bye-bye.